Hello everyone, welcome to my 5th unboxing video. So unlike my previous unboxing videos, today's video is actually something a little bit different in that I'm unboxing something unrelated to Pokemon trading cards. So the device is actually called Dexcom, as you can see, Dexcom G6. So in a nutshell, Dexcom is a continuous glucose monitoring device that's very similar, kind of like similar to Freestyle Libre that you see nowadays, except this one doesn't require scanning because it does actually continuously measure glucose levels every 5 minutes. In this video, I also want to provide my own unbiased opinion and review of the device by actually trying it out on myself, see how my blood sugar levels are, whether they're normal or not, so we'll find out. So in the box, it should contain the applicator, the transmitter itself, and the sensor. So the design of the box is kind of pretty neat. It does say hello Dexcom in a number of languages, except for the Tagalog or Filipino. So I'm kind of disappointed with that. But anyway, without further ado, let's open it up. The transmitter, the applicator. Whoa. This is what we're gonna be trying to follow. But I want to open this one first. I'm one of those who's very tactile learner, so I don't really learn by just reading off the material. I actually have to do it myself. I should be able to like touch it myself and play with it. Now let's check out the applicator and the sensor itself. More instructions in different languages. Okay. Whoa. This reminds me of a mouse, actually. Oh, so the sensor is already attached with the applicator, so that's pretty neat. So step 1 does require you to download the Dexcom G6 app. Keep in mind that not all devices are compatible with the app. So I learned this with my Sony phone. Sony isn't one of the compatible devices, unfortunately, so I'm kind of disappointed in that. So before you actually decide on using this device, make sure your device is actually compatible with the app. Otherwise, you'll have to buy a separate receiver rather than using the app. You can use both, but it's just extra money if your device isn't compatible with the app. In my case, I had to borrow my mom's old phone. Funny, isn't it? Yeah, LG is actually one of the compatible phones, so I had to borrow it from her to be able to use the app. And this one is actually requiring me to enter the code from the applicator, which is supposed to be this. So I'm going to be entering that code here. So the device does connect via Bluetooth. Make sure your Bluetooth is actually on, right? So time for me to pick a sensor site. It's actually dependent on your age. So if you're at least 18 years or older, like me, believe it or not, I am at least 18 years of age. You have the option of either putting the sensor on around your belly or at the back of your arm. You also want to avoid bones, irritated skin, tattoos, and areas that get bumped quite a bit. So I had to think this through because I do a lot of abs exercises pretty much every day. So if I put it on around my belly, I feel like it's just gonna fall out quite easily. So I decided to just I'm gonna use my the back of my left arm. Hopefully it sticks for at least 10 days. I sweat a lot when I exercise, so we'll find out. Especially this weekend, I'm gonna try some tennis with my friends, so pretty cool. Excited for that. So to insert the sensor, you need the applicator that comes with a sensor built in with it. The only thing I'm disappointed is that it doesn't come with alcohol wipes. Freestyle Libre comes with alcohol wipes, not Dexcom. So I had to actually improvise, right, with that. So before you do anything, you want to wash your hands. Make sure it's clean. Like I said earlier, you want to clean the sensor site with alcohol wipes. But in my case, I'm gonna have to like improvise like this. And then clean. It's gonna be the fatty area right here where I'm gonna be applying it. Make sure it's nice and clean and dry. So here it is. So according to the instructions, you want to peel off the adhesive backings while avoiding not touch the adhesive part. So here, garbage, and then place it the applicator on the skin. Make sure I do it right. So it is in there. And break off the safety guard, which is here. And then we're gonna press the button to insert the applicator. Ooh, ooh. It didn't hurt at all. It was like nothing. And the holder on. So make sure you get to the fatty area, not to the muscle. Next step is to actually attach the transmitter. Do tell me to also clean the transmitter with alcohol wipes. Again, I tried looking everywhere. No alcohol wipes in the package. So again, I'm gonna have to improvise with that. So after cleaning the transmitter, you're gonna have to insert it into the holder right here, right? It's gonna hard to see, but you wanna snap it on. Oh, make sure it's flat. I'm gonna rub around the patches 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So guess what? The app is finally ready, and as soon as I open it, I get this urgent low warning, which is pretty bad. But I don't feel dizzy at all. 2.7. Like, this is just a number. It should be more of what I feel. And I feel okay. So I'm gonna try to carb up a little bit. Okay, see what happens. Oh, it's at 2.9 now. Yeah, I just started eating 5 minutes ago. Carved up, so it's now at 3.4. But I'm gonna try this anyway just to make sure. Ow! Oh! Whew. I hate this. 5.2. Now it's at 4.4. So that makes sense now because I don't feel dizzy at all. So on to my favorite part of the experiment. I'm gonna have some of my favorite ice cream, ube makapuno, and see what happens. So in theory, about 2 hours after eating, my glucose level shouldn't exceed, if I don't have any diabetes, shouldn't exceed 7.8 millimoles per liter. If I'm fasting, it shouldn't exceed 5.7 millimoles per liter. So right now it's at 5.8, and see what happens. So I finished my ice cream. I guess we'll find out in a couple hours how good my body is, how good my endogenous insulin is in controlling my blood sugar level. So it hasn't been 2 hours, and current glucose level is at 6.5, which isn't too bad. Whoa, it just went up to 7.3. Oh gosh, I'm kind of scared. So I just woke up and I'm getting this 6.3 blood sugar level, which is an indication of like pre-diabetic. So I decided to compare it with the finger prick, because we know that finger prick is king, right? Just 5 point. So that makes more sense. After calibrating the sensor for the second time around, here's an overview of my sugar level in a 24-hour period. As expected, my sugar levels went down a little bit whenever I exercised and went up whenever I ate, but only to a certain level since I don't have diabetes. The gray area represents the target range for sugar levels. You can actually set this one up in the app. I use 3.9 to 10 millimoles per liter as the target range. I was really curious as to how well or not the Dexcom sensor would stick on my skin, given that it's actually the number one complaint that I hear from patients about the competitor product. You know, how freestyle Libre sensors would fall off way before the 14-day mark. I sweat a lot when I exercise, so I went ahead and tested Dexcom G6 by wearing the sensor while playing my favorite sports and going to the gym pretty much daily or 5 days a week. On top of that, I shower pretty much twice a day whenever I go to the gym. So the sensor does have a 10-day expiry. The app not only reminds you that it's going to expire soon, the sensor also stops sending information to the app as soon as it expires. So you see nothing, like no data, as if there's no sensor. Okay, and it's asking me to put on a new sensor. So to remove the sensor, you're gonna have to like peel it off from the adhesive side, kind of like removing a bandage. Ooh, it might hurt. Oh my god, actually does hurt. Ooh. Here's a summary of my review, starting with the pros. The fact that it's CGM, it's very convenient that you don't need to scan the sensor just to get data points every 5 minutes. It is approved for younger people, so 2 years and older, versus just 4 years and older for the Freestyle Libre. In addition to the back of the arms, you can also apply the sensor to the belly, so very important if you want to rotate sides. The app does provide rise and fall alerts. It didn't really apply to me since my sugar levels are normal. More applicable when you're on insulin. In case you overshoot your insulin, there is a neat feature that can predict your lows so that you can do something about it before it even happens. There is an app called Follow Up app that can be downloaded by your family members or friends so that they can monitor your glucose levels as well. And then another cool feature that I find is through the Dexcom Clarity app, where you can get a snapshot of your average glucose levels within a certain period and generate PDF reports of your glucose patterns, time in range, and other statistics that can be easily shared with your healthcare providers. Last but not the least, Dexcom G6 sensor sticks pretty well on your skin even if you work out daily and shower twice a day like I do. As you saw, it sticks so good that it'll hurt when you try to get it off. There are pros, there are cons, you guessed it right. Things that I don't like about it. G6. It's quite expensive, so without insurance, it'll cost you around $400 a month. You have to replace the sensor every 10 days as opposed to 14 days with Freestyle Libre. With something expensive, it does not come with alcohol wipes. You can only order directly from the company for now. And lastly, I find the sensor is relatively large compared to the competitor, so it might get in the way for some people. In my case, whenever the sensor and the transmitter got bumped, I was able to feel the needle a little bit, so it just felt a little weird. I hope you enjoyed my unboxing video. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching.